Hello, my name is Darian Gore, and I'm with Sofa King News here with Soul. He's a rapper from Seattle, Washington. We're really excited to be interviewing you today. How are you feeling?
I'm great. It's a little hot, but
a little.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's not this hot in Seattle, huh?
No, but last week was really nice, and then the day that I came here it started raining, so timing was perfect.
What? You're from Seattle and then you come here and it starts raining?
No, it started raining in Seattle as soon as I left.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Do you come to Texas often?
I've been to South by Southwest a couple times. I've been to Dallas once as a kid, but this is my first time in my adult life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to introduce you to Texas. Plano's kind of a funny place to be. We're glad to have you at Suburbia Fest. Who are you looking forward to see?
21 Pilots.
Mm-hmm. We've heard a lot of good things about 21
Yeah,
Pilots.
me too. I'm excited to see J. Cole.
Me too.
I was excited to see Hoodie Allen, but apparently he got sick. So yeah, laryngitis is a real serious thing. So hopefully he gets better soon. And then I'm excited to play. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I have a lot of fans that have been waiting to see me for a while, and hopefully we'll make some new fans today.
Awesome, I bet you will. It was really great. I listened to Eyes Open recently, and I really enjoyed it. It's a really cool album, and it seems like there's a lot of live instruments on there. Are we gonna be seeing that at the show?
You know, actually the band couldn't come with me today.
Oh, okay.
So it's me and the DJ. But yeah, I take a lot of pride in we don't sample. We use a lot of live instrumentation, and the whole creative process is really like from scratch to when the song is done. We kind of build everything together, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was seeing on some of the videos that you were like you'll hear like a beat or a riff and you'll start writing raps to it.
Yeah.
That must be really like a really fun energy to work up to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. Like when you start with maybe just a melody or maybe like a little break beat or something, and whatever that brings out of me, and I start starting to write some lyrics or some melodies, and the musicians around me kind of feed off of that, and it kind of creates like a jam type of environment where what the final product feels like a song that's really together and played live. So it kind of keeps that magical moment rather than it being so programmed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you have this new video out called Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's really fun. You should all go watch it. Tell me about the process of making that video.
Well, Tomorrow was a song that was produced by Elon, who's my bassist, and he gave me the beat just before I left. I left the country for about a year, and I was traveling abroad. So most of that, right? Cool. So most of that, the Eyes Open EP was written while I was traveling, and Tomorrow was one of those songs that like I started writing the first verse like right at the beginning of my trip when I was in India, and like kept writing. I wrote some of the second verse in South Africa, and then I ended up finishing the song when I came back to the United States. So it's really kind of this like 4-continent, like kind of global song for me, and kind of brought the whole EP together. And it was a song that was like a year in the making because I knew it was gonna be something special. So
to commemorate your travels.
Yeah, or just kind of that point in my life, which included those travels, And then when I got back, John, who directed like Thrift Shop and Can't Hold Us from Macklemore, and my first music video ever, maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago, he and I got back together and did that video together. So it was
so it was like a reunion. That's fun. No wonder the energy was so tight. Yeah.
Yep.
So about that trip, man, that must have been amazing. It was 10 months. It was a school fellowship thing, right?
Yeah.
So where else you went to? You went to South Africa. You went to India. Where else did you go?
So I started in India. I went to Ethiopia, Uganda, Tanzania, Zanzibar, South Africa, Brazil, Colombia, Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, and then Haiti, which is where my mom's from. So I finished with a month in Haiti, and I got to connect with my family and go there for the first time. And really, it brought everything full circle for me. So yeah, it was a life-changing experience. I'm super lucky.
So did you get to hear a lot of music while you were abroad that maybe made its way onto this EP, or is making its way into new music that you're making now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an ongoing process. As a musician, it's really important to stay connected and to keep your senses open and really like. I'm a sponge, so if I'm just in the tour bus, if I'm just in the studio, my influences are going to become more narrow and a little more dry. But by being able to get outside of my comfort zone and outside of the box and really experience some things that most people, let alone musicians, are not lucky enough to experience, gave me like it's almost like having like a new spectrum of colors to paint with, you know, just like these new life experiences, these new sounds. I went to a lot of concerts. My trip was pretty much based around music, so any leads or connections you know, that I could build through music, I would follow. Sometimes it would bring me to a whole other country. Like I wasn't even planning on going to Uganda, but I was in Ethiopia, and all these people kept telling me like, yo, go to Uganda, like there's this music festival next week. And I was like, all right, I looked there, plane ticket wasn't too bad. I was like, all right, I'm going to the festival. Went to the festival, met people there, and I ended up staying in the country for a month and making music with a lot of people.
That's so awesome. So you can like freestyle on someone's beats and just go out.
It was dope, yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So then, are there any artists you think that you're gonna maybe work with from Africa or from South America?
Yeah, there's a few hip hop artists that I collaborated with in Uganda already, man, I got really into the South African house scene. Like South Africa, like Black South Africans have taken house music and really kind of like made it their own thing, like using rhythms and sounds and samples from other African music, and like it blew my mind. So I would love to collaborate with some producers from South Africa. So I hope to get back there soon, you know. And yeah, I performed and recorded in Brazil, and Trinidad, Jamaica. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really fun. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, that must have had such a huge influence on your music. So you graduated from University of Washington in 2011, right? What was your major?
I had a double major in American Ethnic Studies, and then they have a major at the UW called Comparative History of Ideas. It's like this really open-ended, like history and philosophy combined. You can kind of like study whatever you want. So
do you think that going to college kind of helped you grow as an artist?
Definitely. I was a knucklehead when I started going to college. Like, I was a smart kid, but I was always into trouble and just not super focused. And I think going to college, obviously not everyone gets that opportunity. So when I got into a college, a good college, it was kind of a no-brainer for me that I had to. Just the way I was raised, it was just an important opportunity to take, you know. So I was able to balance music and college and do well in school. And I think that being in the university environment gave me a lot of structure, and it also taught me to be independent, you know, because I was obviously living on my own and I had to provide for myself. So it was really when I became a man, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, you have this song on Eyes Open that goes like, "If you ain't scared,
you ain't chasing nothing."
You ain't chasing nothing. So what are you scared of?
Right now?
Yeah.
I would say I don't know if I'm necessarily scared of it, but I think something that I'm always super conscious of is trying to maintain a balance in life and maintain your happiness, because I think it's really easy to forget to count our blessings and to be appreciative of where we are. And I think as a musician and like in this rap game, where people get so caught up in climbing the ladder and reaching the next achievement. Oh, I just played Suburbia Fest, but I want to play Coachella or like whatever. Like I always want to make sure that I appreciate the moment that I'm in, and at the same time keep working and make sure that I'm happy with who I am as a person. So no matter what happens, I'm at peace with the decisions I've made.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot in your music. You're like, it doesn't matter what is going on with like the fame or the everything else. Like, I just want to make good music.
Right, yeah, it's never one. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what people are going to remember you for. That's a legacy that you'll leave. And I think as an artist, it's important to take the opportunity as a responsibility. There's a lot of people who listen to our music. It has a really big impact on people.
Yeah.
And it's a platform, you know, like we have an opportunity to say something. So I just try to do something good with it.
So what's coming up? Are you just going to do a bunch of touring and songwriting, or are you working on a new album or an EP?
So I just got back from a couple tours. Now I'm back in the studio, like writing as much as possible.
All right.
Working on my studio tan, which means I get no sun all summer long. Hopefully be working on a bunch of new music and putting out singles and getting ready for the next tour, hopefully before the year is over. and working on the next project. I'm back in a moment where I'm experimenting a lot. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm trying not to have as many like self-imposed deadlines.
Yeah.
Just be able to enjoy it, and I think push myself as an artist and kind of always be focusing on evolving. So like I'm going back to the basics with a lot of the things when it comes to like working on my vocals, you know, practicing to play the drums again, and just making sure that I keep pushing myself and getting better. So I think it's gonna mean like a lot of new music, but also a lot of new sounds, and hopefully just better music is always better.
Awesome. Well, it was really great to interview you today, and we're really looking forward to seeing you at 3:15, right?
Yep.
3:15 at Suburbia Fest. This guy's going to be playing. It's going to be awesome. This is Darian Gore with Sofa King News. We have Soul from Seattle, Washington. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for having me.